Previously on Ace Attorney. This looks like a photo of Dirk and his compatriots. And here's one that looks like really old. Wow, this was taken about 20 years ago. Excuse me? That's Apollo and, Sadmati. What? What? Those are Dirk's sons. Really? So this is the rebel Dirk in the center? He doesn't look so evil. Never mind that. That's Apollo. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Ace Attorney and day 2 of the trial of Maya Fake. May 12th, 9:34 a.m. High Court of Karain. Accused lobby. Hi, Maya. Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her. Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me, did I? It doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end. I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask you for your help. You got it, Maya. Let's do this. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so you can make your dream show come true. The Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right? You bet. You look as if you did not sleep last night, bobbed head. It is written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. Rafa doesn't seem in the best spirits herself. Go ahead, feign confidence now while you're still able. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day. I guess it was just my imagination. Ready, Nick? Okay, Maya, let's head on in. Rafa's still siding with the prosecution. Don't expect that to change anytime soon. All rise! Now then, if everyone is ready. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. Oh, no fears this time, Prosecutor Sadmati? I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that the accused has already been found guilty of the first murder, let us hasten this trial so that we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery. I could not agree more. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the High Priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Pere Zealot. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmati, your opening statement, if you would. Certainly. The accused has now slain 2 of the most devout clergymen in Koreanism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, would not be punishment enough. Then, what terrible fate awaits her? What now? Oh, get. Bulgilpoken Hell, a realm of eternal agony. There she will suffer the endless punishment of Jagar by the Gloom Polmoten. Furthermore, enough! My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists. I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss. Now then, please continue, minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accused. As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the high priest's disciple, Perez Zealot. He had been training under the high priest while living at the priest's home. I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. How tragic that he met such a terrible end. The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the Purification Rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful deep in prayer. The Waba dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly. Oh, the Waba dagger, Lady Kira's weapon of choice. We have already established that the accused prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself.
No, I didn't do it!
Objection!
Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused Maya Fey is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence. I was under the impression it was the only possible sentence, period. Prior to this, would the defense care to respond? The accused is innocent, and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further. But... well, once our benevolence conducts a seance, it will be clear for all to see. Your Majesty, might I have a word? Let me guess. The seance shows something you don't want us to see, so you just want to skip it. Is something the matter, prosecutor Sunmoney? It is about the divination seance. Here comes the pitch.
That's enough!
The what? Excuse me? But your benevolence. Stop right there, prosecutor Sunmoney. Was I wrong about her? As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds. What was that all about? Bobhead, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge. I'm wearing knee pads. Ah! The only problem is I have no weapons at my disposal. Just knee pads. Our only hope now is that what we can glean from the seance vision and Rafa's insights. Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence. Okay, maybe she's still convinced that she's right, but she wants to take her part in taking me down. Yes, let us begin. 9. Thank you.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me. so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Nick, why is her voice so much prettier when she's getting ready for this? I have no idea. It must be some sort of performance thing. I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see? Benevolence, what in the world? I was unable to evoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail. He's not dead. Or, she has to have his real name. And he's not dead. Somebody else is. Which doesn't help. Oh, or it was a fake name. Oh, of course. It was a fake name. I'm an idiot. Just as I thought. Wait, what does he know that we don't? Phoenix, she tried this yesterday afternoon with him. I'm willing to bet she couldn't do it then either. I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand. Come to think of it. I must go perform a divination seance for Prairie Zealot. It is our custom for the prosecution to review its contents before trial begins. And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice. It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties. I am not anything of the sort! The victim spirit would not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance. Rafa. What are we to do without a divination seance? I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused's guilt with or without a divination seance. You never fail to impress prosecutors on money. This is bad. divination seance was my one and only hope. Ah! Your Majesty or Benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try to find out why the divination seance failed? That... Oh, curious, Mr. Wright. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance?
Just explain yourself, Bobhead. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into your grave.
You see what I mean, Nick? When she's not doing her divination thingy, she sounds like sandpaper made out of broken fingernails rubbing on a chalkboard. Damn, girl.
You should fear it, not plead for it.
I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday somebody told me something that changed my mind. Divination seance was once thought of as just another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret the visions through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, Maya Fey, is innocent. The truth is you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick? Yeah, Maya, please. You're not helping. You're not wrong, either.
How dare you! The voice of a Matama is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you.
Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burden her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance? No, of course not. They saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen or we're toast. Need to find out the guy's real name.
Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with the trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Samwani suggested.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I will not forget this, Bobhead. This will not be the last you'll see of me.
Oh, I'm sure. Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand.
Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin.
I am, Sorry, Mr. Wright. Detective Sky, I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go and move on.
But...
There's only one way to save them now. By giving their souls the chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the eternal flames.
I can't do this.
Blood! No eating in the sacred hall of justice!
This guy.
Did ya?
Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out eventually.
Right. Thanks, Miss Fey.
Oh, very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Very well, Detective Sky. Please proceed.
Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of this case. Witness testimony. Overview of the second murder. The latest victim was Parade Zealot. He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The High Priest's widow, Believe in Me, has identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond?
I didn't spot any inconsistencies in the testimony so far, and I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I gonna do now? What is it, Maya?
I was just wondering about how much the police. I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into Acolyte Zealot, because it just might prove to be the key as to why the divination seance failed.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards too. What are you getting at?
Well, it's just a hunch.
Wait a second. During my investigation, Rafa told me about how the divination seance works. I could figure out why it failed. Maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more information. We need his real name. Cross-examination, start.
The latest victim was Perez Zealot. Hold it!
What kind of person was Acolyte Zealot?
According to the neighbors and others who knew him, he was a deeply devout youth.
I too have heard his name mentioned as one who was a fervent practitioner. I suppose you might say he was the high priest's star disciple.
Furthermore, he had been training under the high priest and living at his house for the past 2 years.
Sorry. Back.
Hold it!
2 years? Are you sure about that?
We took statements from his neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborate our initial findings.
What about you, Maya?
Well, when I first came here, I saw Zealot praying under the high priest's instruction.
I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out.
The high priest's widow, believe in me, has identified the victim's body. Hold it!
Was Ms. Amy's positive ID the only way you verified the identity of the victim?
Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried and the data in his family registry, but
what?
His personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced.
Maybe that's why the divination seance failed.
I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright.
Here's what I'm thinking. Praise Zealot is a fake name. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess uses a deceased face and true name to summon their spirit.
Why, yes, that is indeed true.
If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in Kurain. An illegal immigrant. Come think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday.
But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time.
I had always thought that Acolyte Zealot was a Kuranese. Oh, how the high priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this to the testimony?
Absolutely. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony.
It would seem to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you just said to your testimony.
Yes, Your Majesty. He was an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name. Hold it!
Isn't there some way to track down his real name?
No, not if he was an illegal immigrant.
Have you actually confirmed that he was in Kurain illegally?
Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence, but there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Kurain either.
Oh boy, now what do we do?
What if there was a clue in the evidence you gathered?
That's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose is probably cooked.
What do I have that would actually help me there? He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
Hold it!
May as well. Maya isn't that Lady Kira who's going around capturing rebels.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
Objection!
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so.
But
No ifs, ands, and most of all, no buts. The accused was posing as Lady Kira, and she killed Acolyte Zealot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel. That's not true! I'm sorry. The verdict has already been read in that case. I have to assume that it's fact now.
now what do we do? Now I know why the divination seance failed, but...
Nothing's really changed.
Yeah, which means we're in big trouble.
If he really was an illegal immigrant, it's going to be real hard to find out his real name.
I guess our only choice is to give up on the whole divination seance thing. Only there was some way to find out the victim's real name.
Yeah. Maya could ask the murdered priest. All right, I need this. And I need to find some evidence that will help me. Okay, in the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Oh, that's all. I don't see anything here. Tomb of Secrets. Oh, Lady Kira's the true name is Imsan. Speaking this name is unforgivable. Lock this knowledge deep in your heart and devote yourself to prayer. Okay. I mean, that's got to come up at some point. I don't think it's this point. Okay, believe statement. Statement about the Feast of Blessings. Okay. Ingil, no. Picture. Flower. No. Oh my god. I have no idea. Oh, P-shaped tattoo on the nape of his neck.
Objection!
Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation.
What are you talking about?
The victim was undeniably a Kuranese native. And this crime scene photo proves it. It does? It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was Kuranese.
Where? I don't see anything that would prove that.
This proves the victim was Kuranese.
The tattoo?
Take that!
Look at this tattoo right here. Why, that's a tattoo of a peach? I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo.
Oh, the victim really liked peaches? Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. Millions of... Oh, sorry.
Well, peaches are a favorite delicacy here in Crane.
They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself.
Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches.
After the trial, Maya, right now we have a bigger fish to fry. Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach. It is not a peach, you say, then what is it? Take a closer look.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that.
Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely, the tattoo on the High Priest's brow.
Oh my!
What? This mark is only borne by members of the Koreanist clergy.
Objection!
So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different shapes?
No.
Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over in an... The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark on all...
God.
However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Koreanist clergy bear.
Hey, you're right.
Until about 20-some odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one on my right buttock.
That is entirely too much information, Your Majesty. Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot.
I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits.
That will not be necessary if you seek information on the clergy. I have it all right here.
Well, that's convenient.
Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill?
There is just one, and his name is Real Name-Moo.
Real name-moo. Real name-moo. Really?
He became a monk 20 years ago. And that must be the victim's real name.
But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one?
There must have been some reason.
He's a rebel. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name.
Oh, you're right. Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work.
A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented.
You are but digging your own grave, Defense.
And I'm not.
And we won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope.
Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more.
Okay. Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Bobhead, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. But with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise.
Bring it on, princess. Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights.
You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name.
She's doing the pretty voice again, Nick.
Shh, I like this part.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me. so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
And yes, I'm going to let it play out. To be fair, Editor Unca might decide to cut this for length. Here we go! I knew it! Gingil, Plume Punisher theme. Heavy, heavy! Pain! I know exactly how he died. I caught it!
Oh my! It was just as Mr. Wright surmised. Parade Zealot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments.
But all we could see was the ground. That was not the ground. You seem terribly disappointed. Oh my god, is it the same design as the frickin' prayer rug? I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts. I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt. You did?
A most surprising surprise attack. So tell us, Prosecutor Sudmuddy, what is this conclusive evidence you have found?
The Plume Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plume Punisher strap! When you press the Magatama on the Plume Punisher's belt, it was the clock! It was the clock. It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Ms. Fay? You better not break it! There's only one of those in the entire wide world!
Maya, no!
It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this.
Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either.
It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused.
This is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections.
Objection!
Slow down there, Your Majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. That's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's being interpreted correctly.
You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the Matama deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insight, then let us see you prove it. Oh my God, she's really just, ugh.
I know. Rafa's insight.
The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. Though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible. Then someone was there, and the theme to the plumed punisher filled the air. The accused held the defenseless victim down and plunged her knife into his neck. The blade struck true, and in that instant he departed from this world. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments.
Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there.
I did.
As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased sensations very carefully.
The smell of gingham would have worn off by then. Gingle, not gingham. Oh, right, okay. The night of the rite. Okay. So, wait, how do I... Okay, night of the rite.
Objection!
Was it really the night of the rite?
What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Zealot after killing the high priest during the purification rite.
The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that.
What's this?
Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how Smith says gingle? Acolyte Zealot shouldn't have smelled any gingle on the night of the rite.
But what do you mean?
Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled gingle on the night of the rite.
Believe statement?
Where is it?
Let me make sure. Yeah.
Take that!
The high priest's wife, Believe in Me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of gingle-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time of the day before the rite.
Why, I believe you're right. I had completely forgotten about that.
During the feast, the unique smell of gingle pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite.
That's enough!
I am not so easily fooled. Did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite.
Estimated. All right, I told her about that yesterday. Forgive me, Your Benevolence, but the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change.
What's this?
Like if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent.
Why, I believe I have heard something of the sort before. If it is as Mr. Wright claims, the estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised. Yay!
Okay. No! Bobcat, you blinded me with science! Sorry. Well, what am I apologizing for? I'm poetry in motion. No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. All right. Okay, though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible. Okay. The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible. Nick! Change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of an inconsistency. If I had something to show what it was like on that day, it'd really help. All right. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. Probably, hang on. Let's see, okay. I need to look at the court record again. Oh, let's see, Whoa. The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the plaza of devotion until yesterday is melted. All right, let's try this. Oh, let's try this. Oh. All right.
Objection!
The change in date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. So what's this? You are making that irritating face again. Cease it at once. Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Do you have bats in the belfry, Bothead? There's nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes. Ground was iced over. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the rite, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground.
Impossible, you say? Do explain.
This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day. Newspaper.
Take that!
This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick, white ice the day before the rite.
What?
But...
The victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground.
Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What?
What? What? Then where do you suppose the victim was actually killed?
Yes, tell us where, otherwise your argument is worthless. About that.
I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya?
Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right?
Right, but where could that be? I wonder.
What is it, Bobhead? Giving up already?
Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed.
Take that!
The secret hideout the rebels were using.
The rebel hideout? Ta-da! There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber.
You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments if not the floor of the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments.
Woo!
Take that!
The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab.
Objection!
That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same.
I concur. There is no proof that a murder occurred in the rebel hideout.
Yes, there is. Indeed, what evidence do you have of this?
I've already shown you the evidence. What do you mean? Please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of that stone slab. Is this true? This information has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong?
We thought it was the high priest's blood that flowed in from the outside. So we haven't tested it yet.
Then you must do so at once.
Yes, Your Majesty. Dun, dun, dun.
It appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please.
The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Prairie Zealot, just like the defense claims.
Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber.
Uh-oh.
There I will deliver a joyous sermon unto you for 8 hours straight.
I'm really sorry, but please, anything but that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for.
Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but...
Go for it. It's full speed ahead.
The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the plaza of devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So when we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead. And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing. And that would be how the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was.
What? What?
Yeah.
Is it... Let's see. Oh, he was buried in snow. All right.
Take that!
Wait, these are photos of the inner sanctum?
I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in this photo. I'd almost forgotten entirely about this. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death isn't what it seemed. The time was mistaken and the place too. And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on the dagger? And the Plume Punisher theme and the victim art? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. Ah. I see your point, and I counter your point. In a moment. Wasn't this your big chance minute, Nick? Ah. I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you. Actually, that might be possible, at least for one of them. Yep. I mean, really? What's this? You say you can contradict your argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well, let us see you try. Nick, take a good look at the Rebel hideout photo. I know! Stop backseating me, Maya. I know. The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. A Plume Punisher thing? And how do you intend to support such a claim? You have it on your bedside table, I'd imagine. Since the murder happened in the Rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap.
It wasn't the strap, it's true.
The item that played the Plume Punisher theme song was this.
Take that!
This is a Plume Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off. What proof do you have that the alarm went off?
Objection!
What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Do not twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here's what really happened. And the victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. Was his Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. Blah. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Oh, that'll be easy too.
Most impressive, your benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case.
No, there is one. Again, this is like the fourth one so far.
What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency?
Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Nah. Okay. Heavy. No. Okay, probably this one. Touch.
Objection!
The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer. But he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from?
Yes, I see your point.
Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down.
Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim?
What caused the heavy sensation Zealot felt? Any thoughts, Maya?
You know exactly what it was, Nick. I agree that sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zealot's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there?
Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation?
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us?
Of course. I just envisioned the state Zealot was in when he was killed. The cause of the heaviness the victim felt was the falling stone slab. The only conceivable cause is a stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath.
What?
Oh. The stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath.
Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt.
Objection.
While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death, rather, he was stabbed. Yeah. Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him?
It was the bird!
Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together.
Well, would you care to explain?
Sure, I'd love to. It doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? Killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within. Now, there's not much space by the entrance, is there? So what was the real murder weapon then? Better think of something like a big, spiky bird.
If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice. The autopsy doesn't mention that.
He must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century? You're one to talk. Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime?
Yes, there was.
Something that had a shape similar to the Warbad dagger?
Just spell it out for me, why don't you?
Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright.
This shows what really killed the victim.
Do I use that?
I think it wants me to use this.
Take that!
The inner sanctum's diagram? You believe the murder weapon is somewhere in the sanctum?
This is what really took Praise Zealot's life.
Take that!
But that is the
Wombat statue?
Exactly. The Warbad statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. That is what really took the victim's life.
Objection.
You imbecilic fool, the statue is outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside? Haven't you heard? The Warbad statue also functions as the hideout's door. What do you mean?
Door. It's an entryway. It's a thing that you use to enter a building. Have you never heard of a door? The statue can pull a complete switcheroo.
A switcheroo?
To put it simply, it's a revolving door.
a revolving door? Well, that makes perfect sense.
Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but his weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbat statue was right behind him. This cannot be! But the accused fingerprints were found on the dagger! She had held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her fingerprints got on it.
Gut! Those are shocking turn of events, but there is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbat statue was what killed the victim.
Finally. Now that we know how Acolyte Zealot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. No, your benevolence is not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights. But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time?
Your benevolence, are you unwell? Oh, the color is drained from your face.
Yeah, how many innocent people have you sent to the gallows? I will be fine. Continue your proceedings without me.
As you wish.
Granted, it's your father that signs the execution orders. You are too soft-hearted, Phoenix. Feel kind of bad for her.
No, then I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbat dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was to make it look like a serial murder. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right, the real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case.
They dared?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. Here we go again. Your reasoning has more holes in it than that cheese you foreigners so enjoy. Gorgonzola? No, you idiot, I said holes, not whatever you're talking about. Like those putrid, hole-ridden clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid, hole-ridden brain, has putrefied. What's his deal with things going putrid? You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite. But Acolyte Zealot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life. When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
I believe Prosecutor Sadmati has posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused guilt.
Objection!
Why would my client move Acolyte's zealous body to where everyone can see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of, Lady Kira will slay the defiant dragons.
So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
And we asked the judge convinced too. Thought I finally made some headway.
Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not?
Groan of distress? It kills me to admit this, but I got nothing to counter his argument with. And I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya.
Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace.
A dead lawyer walking indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Crane? But I must admit I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body on the verge of death. Now I'm a rotting zombie. Think, who could have killed Zealot the day before the rite? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? Only those involved with the rite can enter the sanctum, so... What? Maya! You're not actually... Are you accusing the murdered high priest? Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout. And the only person who was involved with the rite had access to the sanctum. Oh my god. And was suspected of being a rebel is... Does somebody come to mind? Oh my god. Yes, except there's one huge problem. A huge problem? What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall? I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection. Oh my god. If I don't do something, Prosecutor Sadmati will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this regardless of that huge problem. So... Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Perez Zealot's murder.
Objection!
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist. And not anymore he doesn't. Oh, there is one person who knew everything.
Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us, who might that be?
I believe the prime suspect in the Acolyte Zealous murder is...
Take that!
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum, and who knew of the hideout. And that would be... the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the rite. You would pin a crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales. Oh, you want to bet? Are we finally going to get Maya to do her thing? Have you no shame? Not really, no. Dead men tell no tales. That is definitely a problem. If only the high priest could tell his side of the story. What? Do I have something on my face? Wait a second. Could this actually work? Oh no, don't tell me I have some of my breakfast caught between my teeth. No, if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony.
His testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify?
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as channeling. Summon him here by means of spirit channeling.
What did you just say?
Although I guess the queen could do it. Not that she would want to. This is sacrilege. We the Holy Mother strike him down.
Peace! I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Garin can perform. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform it at our pleasure.
I suspected as much. That means our only hope is... Hi, Maya. How you doing? It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. Maya! I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Karain. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or violates some religious precepts, so... I don't think we'll be punished. At least I hope not. This is a crucial period for you. It'll decide whether you become Master of Karain. We don't have any choice now, do we? If I'm found guilty, it'd be a lot worse than not becoming Master of Karain. All right. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who is capable of channeling spirits. But even Her Benevolence, Princess Rafa, finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen? Oh my God. Wipe that smug grin off of his face, Maya. That really, Nick? Yep, do it. Oh, that would be me.
Is this some sort of a joke of form? No, God, it could possibly have such power. Even the royal priestess is incapable of such a feat.
Peace, I say! Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing the secret art of spirit channeling?
Well, yes. Yes, I can. Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. Now what? Your Benevolence. This is an outrage, I say! First you tried to make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling.
A Benevolence speaks the truth. Spirit channeling is a sacred right.
Fine devils, I say they should be put to death immediately.
Still your voices! Bobdet, spirit channeling is a most sacred and secret of arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am.
Your Benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling?
I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot.
Very well then. Your Benevolence? What if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit?
Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits?
No. But I wouldn't be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present. Yeah.
Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a Makatama Parting. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power.
That is a relief indeed.
These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shrink from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Sunmuddy? Perfectly your benevolence.
Very well. The accused may channel the High Priestess spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We will resume as soon as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned.
Yeah, my God, we're actually doing this. To be continued in the next episode. To the outro. Well then, it is on. I mean, this isn't the first time we've had a dead person take the stand, but the only other time we didn't know she was dead for about half the trial. And just like the first time, this will be a hostile witness. So, Abbott and me killed real Nema, aka Parade Zealot, for some reason, then framed Maya for his murder. Again, for some reason. But who killed the Abbott? We'll probably be able to prove that he killed the Acolyte, but the argument against us will no doubt be that Maya killed Enemy as retribution or some such. And we still don't have any suspects for that particular killing, except of course the big bad that I've been banging on about this entire time, but we know it won't be him this time. Rifa is going to lose all of her shit when Maya channels this guy, and I am going to enjoy every single second of it. In the meantime, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here is a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!